Can they hear me now? Ear. No? Is that not a thing? All right, we should just get the lights on. The back of my head looks wild, but we about to have a really good show. I mean, like, I feel phenomenal. We back, baby. We back. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe, and I'm not hiding behind just a nice haircut. Like, I feel great, and it's gonna show in our work today. I'm drinking this little ginger ale because I'm trying to get my gut biome right. I figure it's the only thing I could really take control of these days. Because everything else, we're just living on a whim. What's going on, beautiful people? Y'all see my cars? I don't know if y'all can see this, but like I change these up all the time. Can y'all see if I do that? Wow, yo, I work out. My bad. Like y'all see that? Those are dope. Back to the Future. Like all three, and then it says Brian Supra from Fast and the Furious, but if anybody knows Fast and the Furious and Brian Supra, you know that first and foremost, the Supra was orange. I don't even think the one that he brought in that was broken was white. Like, I don't even know where the fuck they came up with a white one. So strange. It really doesn't make any sense. And I think no, it was gray. Either way. I just got I like my little decorations, and I keep these on here because I think they're dope. I don't know. Like, judge me if you want. Y'all ready for today's show? So before we start recording, let me break down what we're going to talk about today because, you know, that's like some of the new stuff. Today's song, if you don't hear it because you're watching on YouTube, it's Rick Ross, Push to the Limit, right? Because I'm working on, so I'm obviously putting together more content on the back end. Y'all don't know that, but you're going to see that this week or begin to see that this week. And I'm doing like a small Florida doc breaking down cocaine and the money, in Florida and what happened in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, and early 90s with real estate in Miami and how cocaine basically and drug money basically built Miami and why it's led to what we're dealing with today. I think it's a big story that should be told. And I want to take a dab at it. I got another story I'm working on. Joe Budden and Andrew Schultz. I think it's gonna be a good one. Like I'm putting all this together, and one of the hard drives that we had wiped. So like, there's a lot of content gone. I know. That's why we're just gonna start putting it out. It's hard. Like, you record a lot of stuff or you work on stuff and you're not completely secure or sure of what you want to do, and you know, you make up excuses and then something happens and you go, shit, I should have done it, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're trying to done it. It was literally 100 degrees this morning with no sun out, and it's been the hottest day ever, so I'm exhausted for no reason. It's really crazy how hot it is. And you know what's really bugging me out? Like, 113 ain't hot, but it feels like it's way hotter than 113 right now, just being completely honest with y'all. I need to work on my vocabulary. I want to start using like big ass 14 letter words like every other word, just for no reason, like them British folk do. That's the one thing I can't say that I'm jealous of that they did right. Boy, they know how to talk, don't they? I told you. I'm fine. Hey, you know what I found out? This lemonade water stuff that I drink has caffeine in it, or had caffeine in it. And that was surprising because I wasn't really aware of that. And I was drinking that shit at night and I was wondering why I couldn't sleep. Anyway, today's show, we're going to talk about, first off, Diddy and his 15 roaches. Like, this is a little ridiculous and we really got to dig into that. The Haitian president was assassinated this morning. Hurricane Sally. What Jenna Pesky and Joe Biden have been talking about. We didn't put that in the description, but we're definitely going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the Canadian fire. What else did weather do? There was something else weather-wise. So we basically, it's weather, some politics, podcast beef. DJ Akademiks was on Flagrant 2, and now he's got some beef he's got to deal with. Joe Budden ran like a pussy. He didn't want no smoke with Alex Jones. That's why I'm going to get into the real beef there. I think that's an interesting story, and I really don't want to tell it here. Trump is suing Facebook, and that's really not going to work. And we'll talk about that. We'll get into that once we start recording the show. And we'll basically go over everything again in a couple minutes. But thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, beautiful people. It was literally 99 at 3:30 and at 4 o'clock before the sun was up. The sun wasn't even up till like 5:30. It was 100 degrees. Like, that's Vegas. Whoa. Fucking caffeine wouldn't hurt right now. I'll tell you that much. Funds. Struggle. Paid. Push it to the limit. Hey, I wonder how annoying it is that y'all can't hear the song and y'all can hear me breathing and shit. I just be singing like random parts of the song. Waited. Patience. Hated. That's a great song. This t-shirt's a bit. It's Kasabian. Kasabian Lavoe. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. Live from Las Vegas, episode 206. I know it's amazing that it just keeps going, right? It's a show that never ends. We literally just continue to talk about everything that's going on, and hopefully I give you a different perspective from this whole hip-hop culture of ours. It's a beautiful thing. Hip-hop's about love. Hip-hop is big. Hip-hop is global. Don't want me, woman. Oh, I'm going to want you. This is why I want the chat on the screen. I'm going to work on that. And, damn, man, I got a bunch. I'm going to change the whole. There's a lot of things coming. Anyway, it was so hot all day. It made no sense why it was so hot. It was literally like hot. Like it was so shitty. We're gonna be talking about a couple things today that I'm kind of like blown away at how much has happened. It's finally like a full day's worth of stuff that we could talk about. And not only, let me open up this story. Hold on. I just want to make sure I have the Haitian president story. If y'all haven't heard about that, we'll be getting into that today. What happened with the Haitian president? The Haitian president. We'll be talking about weather. There's a lot of weather situations out there. What else will we be talking about today? We'll be talking about Biden and what Jen Penske or Psaki said, which is weird. We'll also be talking about, I'm on Apple News trying to find this story. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know my podcast is like, bro, we don't give a shit what you're looking for, bro. Oops. Don't push play on videos. All right. Where was I? I was here. All right. DJ Akademiks is on a run. And I'm not too sure what he's on a run for. We're going to be talking about that. Talk about where he was this weekend and all the brouhaha he stirred up. Let's talk about Joe Budden and how he's pussy and he was scared of that smoke. We'll be talking about, like I said, weather and how it's affecting people and how it's affecting things around you. We'll be talking about Tesla in China, and hopefully we have a good show. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe, please do. I know I'm a little off. I'm not all the way on. It's like I said, it's been really, really hot today, and it took a toll on me. Like I'm drained and I'm dragged, but I really want to put on a good show. So my name is Kasabian Lavoe, and let's do this. We're live from Las Vegas. It's literally like 115 right now. Like, I'm not even playing. It's the hottest time of the day. Diddy said he had 15 roaches on his face, and that's why he likes to eat mango. That shit is crazy. Bro, you are nasty. I grew up with roaches everywhere. Never had a roach on my face. Never even had a roach touch me. That shit is nasty. Please don't make people think that you're just laying there and roaches just crawling. What the fuck kind of roaches you had in New York, bro? I was right there, too. We had roaches and rats. None of them shit. The rats, maybe. The roaches, you bugging. But Diddy's living life. Diddy looks great. Shout out to Uncle Diddy, Uncle Love. Hey, that's what I'm saying. See, hip-hop's about love. Like, the fact that Diddy was able to do that type of shit, like, what are you talking about, bro? 15 roaches on your face? You're disgusting. Let's get into the weather. According to the news, it's always weather that's causing so many issues in the world, so let's talk about it. Hurricane Sally right now she's fast blazing through. Well, it's not blazing because it's a hurricane. So this is why I don't do the weather. She's blowing through some shit. Damn Sally blowing stuff down. Early Wednesday morning, Sally hit the golf course near Alabama to Damn. This is why I never wanted to read in front of y'all. Early Wednesday morning, Sally hit the golf course near Gulf Coast near Alabama and near the Alabama-Florida border. Isn't it Flamma border or Flamma? Isn't there a name for that? There's a name for that. I swear there is. With maximum sustaining winds of up to 105 miles an hour at about 5:45 in the morning. According to the National Hurricane Center, more than 320,000 people along the golf course, CNN reports, are currently experiencing power outages, and thousands have already evacuated their homes. Unfortunately, when you live in those areas coastally, as beautiful as it is, these are the risks. Same thing with Vegas. We love Vegas, and we get great weather. Unfortunately, for us that love great weather, have to deal with 113, 115. So it's the give and take. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's prepared. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much damage. There's videos of New York having wind blowing and things coming off people's balconies. And it seems to have come very quickly. There's videos of people running off on the beach. I mean, if you're on the internet, you've seen this. If you haven't, it's pretty phenomenal how quickly it moved on to land and almost instantly changed how weather was reacting and acting at the moment. So this one's gonna be nifty. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much damage. And everybody, like I said, makes it out safely. Pray for everybody and stuff like that, because people like hearing shit like that. But in reality, I just hope y'all pay attention to the officials in your area and, just be safe. There's a Canadian fire going on. And I wasn't really aware of what was happening. I heard of it because it's a Western thing, and we've been having a huge drought on this side of the world. So there's a fast-moving forest fire that began 3 days ago. That began after 3 days of record-breaking temperatures. So it's hard to say that the that the temperatures were the reason for the fire. I know they like to put that blame. Yes, when it's hot out, it can cause issues for fires. We have to be shepherds of our land, and poor forest management causes a lot of these issues. And if we honestly paid better attention and took care of our land as we're supposed to, as you're asked to, then we can avoid a lot of these fires and stop blaming a couple days of hot fucking weather. It's just not that big of a deal. Like, it could be 4 or 5 days of dry weather if you pay attention to what's going on. Most of the time, these fires happen because power lines touch trees. It's just overgrown trees and foliage that shouldn't even be touching these lines. When the heat comes in, sometimes those power lines explode and they have issues. I mean, it's our fault that most of the fires happen, and we should be aware and be able to take care of these problems no matter where it is in the world. We're usually the reason why this shit happens. From Australia all the way down to Brazil, when fires happen, usually it's our fault. Every once in a while here we have thunderstorms that cause fires, and that is also, something that can happen. But again, being shepherds of your land definitely helps mitigate most of these issues. And you always hear Smokey the Bear and all that shit like that. Please take care of where you are. Like, a small fire that turns into something like this, like that town is completely destroyed in Canada. It's gone, completely leveled. Like, it looks like a skeleton of a ghost town. And I mean, it was literally a town a few days ago. The fire just went right through it. Everything is gone. Memories gone. Families have had to move. And I just can't wrap my mind around something that can be preventable. And I understand it's always easy to say something from the microphone, but my aspirations of running for governor still don't change. They might not be as soon as I wanted to, because I've actually fallen in love with doing this. But these are things that you should worry about when you are in charge. Like, that's what government officials are for. They're there to help. They're there to do the things that you can't do, the big picture shit that you don't have time to do. Like, you just want to live there, and I voted for you, and I trust you to do this part of your job, and I do my part of my job, which is just be a good citizen. So I feel for the people in Canada, and I hope they're able to rebuild, and I don't know how insurance works up there, and I hope I believe they said 3 died. So, even one person lost is too many. We'll send our thoughts out that way. I really don't like saying that type of shit. I just do it because that's what people do. Why was Vin Diesel trending and all the family memes? I don't even think Fast and Furious is Fast and Furious anymore. I mean, I don't know. That's just not me anymore. But that shit was kind of funny. There was like a bunch of them, and I was like, what is happening? And it was some weird one with the stepbrother thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and Mandy's thing. I don't know. So I was really curious to know what would happen today. Today's Wednesday. The Joe Budden podcast is Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I really thought we were going to hear Joe Budden or Joe Budden step up and shout down potentially Alex Jones. And in reality, what he did was more or less solidify that he has an issue with Andrew Schultz, and then he tucked his tail around like a bitch away from Alex Jones because honestly, he had nothing. He was scared as shit. He was a pussy. He literally sat there and was like, oh my God, is Alex subscribed to my... No, dude, people heard you yap in your face and everybody wants to see you fall, so they told Alex, and Alex don't play that shit. And when you're a podcaster, like, depending on what kind of podcast you run, to be honest with you, you become a journalist of sorts. Like, you have to do research so that you can have things to talk about. Like, not only do I read a lot and I'm always going through things historical or economical and things that I can use in my everyday life today. And I like to tell those stories, but when we're doing stories like this, like, we start the research and we become real journalists. Like, some of us do. Like, you'll see us shine. There's going to be, some podcasters that are better than others. I'm not saying I'm a journalist by no means, but it wouldn't take long for you to really research into Alex Jones and see who he is and what he's done. Because he went from conspiracy theorist to, oh shit, he's right about a lot of things. And nobody can stop it. Like, okay, the Sandy Hook fuck up, not too many people are okay with that. We've all kind of condoned that shit as negative. Don't do that shit again. And I think Alex is smart enough to go, you know what? I get it. I'm not going to let it happen again. And he hasn't. He's actually really... I think he's done his job. He OD'd a little bit with the Trump thing. I don't think he was able to run it back as quick as he wanted to, but nonetheless, Alex Jones, as crazy as he is a phenomenal journalist. He's just a little rough around the fucking edges, but he's been true about a lot of the shit that he said. Joe Budden, on the other hand, it's hard to believe anything he says. He says he's for the creator, and he fucks over every creator he comes through. He says he doesn't believe in contracts, and he touts about contracts. He literally sits here, I didn't want to get into this during the podcast because there's a lot to it. And in all honesty, the beef is between him and Andrew Schultz because he's a fucking jealous hater. And I'm doing a piece on that. And that'll be on the channel. So be on the lookout for that this week. But I really don't even want to get into the whole Joe and Andrew beef on here because it's corny. It's corny what Joe's doing. He's not who he thinks he is. And shout out to all the podcasters out there that are really blowing up. Like, I don't see why we should hate on any of us. Like, us podcasters are going to become something different sooner than later. Like, you're going to see TV shows, you're going to see movies, you're going to see things change. Like, podcasting is going to be a huge turn, and you're going to see the next Rush Limbaugh come out of this. You're going to see the next Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan is now the Howard Stern of the today. Like, that's what it is. Like, honestly, like, you could have said that picture of my babies. You could have said that Joe Budden was looking like he was gonna be the such and such, like our Joe Budden. Like, he would have been that person that we would talk about for years. But honestly, he's falling flat, and it's pretty embarrassing. It really is. Akademiks has definitely left an impression. And speaking of Akademiks, let's just be honest. Akademiks is on a run. I think he's starting his podcast. It's coming out, and that's what the run's about. And he has his deals with Complex right now. So Complex is going through some changes. They were just bought. I'm not really sure if that's going to affect Ak in a bad way. I don't see how it can affect him in a bad way. But DJ Akademiks has honestly grinded his way up from YouTube to become not only a personality, but literally somebody who can taste-make and critique the whole culture. And now they have to listen to him. They really do. A lot of people didn't want to, but guess what? Ak's here to stay. ASMR. It's always the best. Ak was on Flagrant 2. Flagrant 2 is Andrew Schultz podcast. I don't know. I don't watch Flagrant 2. I've seen it. I honestly think Andrew Schultz is funny. I just don't like him because I don't think he's like hilarious. I don't think he's like ha 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 funny. He's just funny. Cool dude. Never had a beef with him. I never understood why Joe was so mad at him and why Joe feels like he came up off of Joe Budden. Why Joe Budden feels like Andrew Schultz came up because of Charlemagne. I think quiet is kept. Andrew Schultz blew up because of Rogan, and Andrew Schultz is a comedian. So, I mean, if he developed a relationship with Rogan, no matter if Charlamagne gave him the platform, I mean, it's the same argument when the label takes an artist and the artist blows up and wants to leave. Like, yeah, Charlamagne might have put him on, even though he was doing something else, but him commingling and doing what he did, it worked. It worked, and he's huge, and he's a lot bigger than the Joe Budden podcast. So Akademiks was on there, and unfortunately, Ak was on there for 5 hours. I gotta stop saying unfortunately. Ak was on there for 5 hours, and like the internet's only talking about One Piece, and that was what he was talking about, Rory and Mal. I mean, yo, Ak talks about Rory and Mal all the fucking time. This is what he does. Him and his chat niggas. That's what they do. Akademiks has made a living just completely, like when he gets on somebody, he will completely ridicule and tear them apart. It's just what he does. He's really good at doing that. I don't even see how Ak has even continued to fucking just like the shit that he does is great, bro. He's drinking online, he's passing out, he falls asleep. It's wild, fucking wild. Anyway, Ak was on Flagrant too, and he talked about Rory and Mal, and a lot of people were just so stuck on that one piece. Now, Ak as a personality, I think he works really well. His pettiness between Rory and Mal, honestly, it feels like a girlfriend-boyfriend thing, and it's so fucking weird. Like, I hate to even continue to talk about their beef because it's so weird. Like, we've talked about this for a long time. Like, yo, Rory's gotten, I think he split up his engagement over some of this shit because of Ak. Like, I don't know exactly if the beef is legitimately off screen and it's some real street shit, and if it is, then y'all just gotta throw hands and let it go. But Rory and Mal really don't even bring up Akademiks. They don't ever say his name, so you got to give them props. Now, Weezy, who is co-owner of the studio that hosts Rory and Mal's podcast, New Rory and Mal, had a lot to say about Akademiks on Twitter, and she wasn't wrong. She went at him, and Ak went at her, which was kind of interesting to watch Akademiks go crazy on her, but at the same time, it's corny. Like, yo, Ak, what's the point of you even... You're mad because you sat up there and talked about two dudes and one of their friends is defending them. Talk about her all you want. Weezy and Mandy's podcast, Horrible Decisions, is dope. Weezy is doing mad things. Like, I know you want to talk about her all you want, but she's got a lot going on, so you really should watch what you say because people are moving. Like, unfortunately, in this whole podcast game and this new media game, like, if you're willing to be in it and you're good, you're going to go somewhere. It might take some time, but you really will. So Ak shouldn't do the shit that Joe did and start shitting on new people that are coming up because they're going to come up and surpass you. It is what it is. Good luck, Ak. Like, I don't see how it's going to work. Ak was supposed to be on Joe's podcast. Like I said, he's on a run. So he might be on something that's on Patreon. We'll see how that goes. Sadly, this morning, Haitian president, I really don't want to ruin his name. I'm going to say it so wrong. I don't even want to try it. Well, the president of Haiti was assassinated this morning in his home in Port-au-Prince early this morning. His wife was also shot, and she was left hospitalized. I don't even want to try his name. Moses? Jovenel? Nope. My reading is just not. We're not doing that. I'm not going to do that to him. He was shot in the head early this morning. And his wife is still hospitalized and obviously being, under guard and being taken care of at the moment. Hopefully she pulls through. This is a travesty. It's unfortunate to see. Haiti's gone through a lot of issues. Being Caribbean, I'm Puerto Rican. Haiti gets the shit end of the stick for a lot of things. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton really fucked them with all that money after the earthquakes. Nobody ever talks about how much, what was it, 113 million or some shit or more that they stole from the Haitians, and nobody says anything. For this to happen, I hope they're able to find why and what's going on, but there's been tons of violence over there. These countries, they're fighting over money. They're fighting over the pettiest things, and it gets very violent, very dangerous, and things like this happen. What is travesty? Hopefully they can figure it out, and I wish I had more information. It seems everything is just like think pieces right now. Really, there's no information. The CIA was up there, some shit too. So it's a big deal, and I hope they figure it out. Hey, if this is your first time listening, like and subscribe. I know it's kind of ODing on the other episodes, the like and subscribes. I let up on this one, but like and subscribe. Like, we appreciate that. Hit the bell and whatnot. We're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're live, and more content's coming. Like I said, we're doing a couple pieces. We got a Miami piece coming. We got a Joe Budden versus Andrew Schultz coming. That one's gonna be fun. Head over to klavoe.com. Check out the merch. Check out the music. Head over to popple.co, hemper.co. Use Kasabian Lavoe at checkout on both of those websites and save 20%. Thank you to them for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. I saved the ads for the end of the day. It might be what we keep doing. I'm gonna see if I can run them in the front with just the visuals, and we don't gotta cut the show for it. But anyway, my name's Kasabian. Living the hold on. I'm gonna go play video games with my friends. My name is Kasabian. Live in the moment, don't live in the past. Be safe, stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. Wah. I gotta do the end soon thing. Bow. What?